Good morning. Hold on one second, sorry. It's 8 o'clock. We are being recorded. And I call this meeting to the special called meeting to order. Without objection, seeing none. We are all here, except I believe Councilman Hennigan is not. Sorry, it's a little early here. So our technology is not. And so we are here. Seeing no objection, I call this meeting to order. Councilwoman Harris, can you please do the invocation?
And as you can. At this meeting, help us to make decisions which keep us faithful to our mission and reflect our values. Give us strength to hold to our purpose, wisdom to guide us, and a keen perception to lead us. And above all, keep us charitable as we deliberate. Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ginger, can you see if we have any public comment online? And we will have a public hearing about, which is why we're here, about the fiscal year millage rate.
If you would like to speak in public comment, please raise your hand in the Zoom app. I see no hands raised at this time.
If anyone in the chambers would like to speak for public comment, Jay has your card. Okay, you have 3 minutes.
Thank you. Good morning, Council. My name is Robert Wolford, and this morning I would like to talk again about our democracy, which is under threat, and it's under threat from American citizens. So we have a governor in this state that is becoming a bit anti-democratic. And while I'm speaking to you tonight, you'll please forgive me if I speak a little bit beyond you, because this is really not a city issue yet that I see. However, these same principles apply in all of government, including municipal government. So we have a governor right now who is actively proposing anti-democratic legislation, and it's passed the legislature. And now he's being sued by the federal government, as he should be, because he's overstepped his bounds in authority. And it's not the first time he's done it. He's done it to this council. He's done it to you. And the state legislature's done it to you, and we've let him get away with it. Specifically, a law was passed in Georgia that does not allow our municipality to govern ourselves when it comes to our codes and building codes. And you all know what I'm talking about, because he caved to the lobbyists, to the timber industry. This council worked hard with the community to develop codes that are appropriate for the city of Dunwoody, not rural Georgia, but the city of Dunwoody. We've had a tornado come through here, and everybody knows what happened. And if you were on the third floor of that building or higher, you were in great danger. So you and your wisdom and the rest of the council and community made a law, a code, if you will, to require that developers use materials stronger than wood above the third floor. And the governor, although he claims to be for local control, he's for local control when the federal government wants to regulate him in the state. But he's not for local control when it comes to us in municipality governing ourselves. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. So that's a perfect example. I'm not blowing smoke. I'm not making things up. This is real. And right now, the biggest threat in our state is our own governor and state legislature, which has passed legislation, which is anti-democratic, which does not bring more people to the polls to vote, which is sacrosanct in our democracy. Our democracy will not function without citizen participation, and it starts with the vote. So that's why I'm here tonight.
15 seconds remaining.
Thank you, Ginger. That's why I'm here tonight, to remind you that you're only sitting here because our democracy functions. I'm only able to appeal to you because our democracy functions. And right now our state government's working against that. Thank you. Good night, or well, good morning, and good luck.
Thank you. Seeing no other public, I will proceed. Sharon, I believe you need to read the agenda item.
Yes, Mayor. This will be a public hearing for a resolution of the mayor and city council of the city of Dunwoody, Georgia, to fix the ad valorem tax rate of the city of Dunwoody for fiscal year 2021 and for other purposes.
Good morning. This is the second read of a requirement of 3, and this is to establish the millage rate for the city of Dunwoody. We are proposing that it remains at 274, 2.74, which is what it's been since the beginning of the city.
Okay. We'll come to council questions if there are any after we open the public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak for the fiscal millage rate for 2021, please share. Ginger, can you check on Zoom, please?
If you'd like to speak in favor, please raise your hand in the Zoom app. I see no hands raised at this time.
All right, Mr. Wofford, you had your hand raised here. You just
10
begin.
minutes of public comment?
Yes,
Well, 10 minutes.
10 minutes
of
each
public
side,
hearing.
right?
Right. And as always, respectfully, if someone else wishes to speak in favor, I will cede my time to them. But this is actually one of my favorite parts of council because I get to talk for 10 minutes if I want to. And you guys don't have to go home and watch your shows tonight because it's early in the morning. You get the whole day in front of you. So you get to listen to your neighbor from Georgetown. So I am here this morning to speak in favor of the tax issue. We're only here because the state requires this. I would imagine that we probably wouldn't be here this morning if state law didn't require us to be here for this, hold some hearings, which is a good thing. A lot of my neighbors believe they're overregulated, but really, regulations are necessary. Taxation is necessary. So for folks who don't know me, for the record, my name is Robert Wolford. And if you go 7 generations back, the Wolford name comes from a Johann Martin Wohlfahrt. He was a German immigrant, and he founded a Lutheran church in 1769 with 7 other Germans. He's buried in St. Peter's Cemetery up there, where the Catholic English government allowed him to, and his German immigrant friends to worship outside the city. They couldn't worship inside the city because that was reserved for King George's Catholics. But we're past that, and the point I'm trying to make has to do with taxation. Johann Martin was taxed. He worked hard. By the way, he's the only relative that I have that died in a conflict fighting for this country, and he died in December of 1780. He carried mail and supplies for Washington's army and Captain Stevenson's regiment, which were folks like you and me that were mustered by Washington and others that wanted to settle their grievances with with England and King George. And the issue was taxation mostly for that. They were being unfairly taxed. And we fought a revolution for that. But being unfairly taxed is not the same as not being taxed. So I fully appreciate the right of the government. It's necessary that the government tax us. And I'm standing in favor of this tonight because I've watched closely enough to know that this council has been very conservative and traditional and faithful to your office when you spend the tax money that the citizens of this community provide through taxation. So it's necessary for roads, it's necessary for infrastructure, it's necessary for government to function. I could go on and on. There's many necessary needs of taxation. So really the question for me, and I would think most Americans, comes from how the money is spent. Is it spent capriciously? Is it spent to create legislation that keeps Americans from voting? Keep them from the ballot box? or is it spent to fill potholes and pay for police to protect us? So I just want to recognize, in speaking in favor this morning, that I do recognize that we are taxed, and we are taxed, I believe, at a fair rate. And I believe that this council does everything it can to make sure that they spend the money wisely. We may disagree as citizens as to how that money could be spent. Very recently, there was opposition to our tax money being spent on parks. And a lot of those same people would rather have our tax money spent on tax breaks for corporations. And there's reasons for both. Taxation for corporations does provide jobs. There's a return on it. And there's not as recognizable a return on something like land investment for a park. But I can assure you that that return is just as great. And that's where the debate should be. The debate shouldn't be over keeping people from the polls or making sure that we stay in power and our people get out and other people have trouble getting out. And our state is spending tax dollars right now to do that. They're going to waste our tax dollars by defending a lawsuit against them for doing just that, and that's shameful. But I want to recognize this morning that our city government doesn't act like that, and I want everyone in the community to understand that from someone who follows you closely, you've been good stewards of our tax money. So I'm just not going to take the full 10 minutes because I think the point's been made, and I think you understand what I'm talking about. I support the taxation, and I appreciate the representation of that taxation and how it's spent. So with that, I speak in favor today, and I'll let anybody opposed speak their mind as well. Thank you. Good morning, and as always, good luck.
Thank you. Ginger, how much time is remaining?
4 minutes and 17 seconds.
Okay. I don't think we have no one else here. And you've checked already, so we will move to 10 minutes opposed. There's no one here. Can you check online, please?
If you would like to speak in opposition, please raise your hand in the Zoom application. I see no hands raised at this time.
Thank you. So unless there's an objection, I will close the public hearing. Public hearing is closed. Council discussion, comments or questions for Linda or Jay? Anybody?
Yes, have one.
Joe.
I just want to make sure everybody understands the bargain and the great bang for the buck that they're getting. I pulled out my property tax assessment from 2009, and that city number is the same as the city number is in 2021. I'll say that again. My 2009 city tax that I'm paying net is the same as my 2021. I'm living in the same house. So please, folks, look at your property tax and see what you're getting. It's a great, great, great value. So thank you. Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right. We will be back tonight with this. Seeing no other business, I need a motion to adjourn.
No, whoa,
Oh, is there something else?
Isn't there? Or is this tonight?
No, that's
Okay, never
tonight.
mind. Move to adjourn.
It's really early. Who moved? I missed all that. Jim moved, Pam seconded. Any discussion on adjournment? Seeing none. I call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we stand adjourned. Thank you.